Hello, everyone. This is Rick, and welcome to Astral Club. This is the Causal Plane. Before we get into it, just want to mention a few things. First up, Patreon. If you'd like to support the work of Astral Club, you can certainly do so on Patreon. When you join, you get a chat function where you can speak with everybody else and talk to them. There's a direct mail to me. I can answer your questions and you can offer comments. There's advanced podcasts on Sunday, and if you're interested, there's a link to Patreon in the description. Next up, astral projection lessons. If you'd like a lesson to learn how to astral project, be glad to work with you. Work with folks now all over the world, and we've had some very good success. If that is of interest to you, go to the description section, and there's an email there. Just request more information. And lastly, remember, we have 2 episodes a week, one at Wednesday at 2 p.m., and the second one at Saturday at 9 a.m. Okay, the causal plane. The way the occult traditionally places the causal plane is as follows. First of all, there's the physical plane, which is the densest plane. Then there's the astral plane, which we talk about quite a bit. Above the astral is the mental plane. And I've made an episode about the mental plane, and if you haven't seen it, just look up Astral Club Mental Plane and you can listen to it yourself. It was a challenge for me to use English to describe the mental plane. The causal is many times more difficult to try to describe it in English, but I'm doing my best. Okay, first up here, I want to talk about some things that are traditional occult ideas about the causal plane. And you can find this information online. It's nothing special, really. The causal plane is a high, subtle spiritual realm of thought and pure ideas, considered the blueprint for the astral and physical and, I guess, mental planes. It is a state of advanced spiritual evolution found in spiritual traditions like Neo-Theosophy, Vedanta, the New Age, and where Brahman is the source of the universe, and individuals gain a deeper understanding of reality. In this realm, concepts of cause and effect are foundational, and thoughts have direct, powerful manifestations before the soul merges with the Supreme Spirit. Let's talk about some characteristics of the causal plane. The world of ideas. It is the subtlest of the spiritual planes, composed of pure thoughts and archetypal forms that serve as the basis for all lower realms. Higher consciousness. Individuals in this state possess a more refined and evolved consciousness with a deep understanding of their connection to the divine. Next, manifestation through thought. Thoughts and intentions on this plane have immediate and powerful effects, creating reality instantaneously. Spiritual attainment. Accessing the causal plane requires significant spiritual purification and growth, often achieved through deep meditation or spiritual practices like astral projection. Beyond the physical body and the material environment become insignificant for those residing in the causal world. Let's get into my experience here a little bit. I had an astral acquaintance who owed me a favor, and he paid off by giving me a special ident for the causal plane. Now, when I'm not doing things that, like interviewing people or doing something important that I can then share as an episode here on Astral Club, you might find me, flying through the night sky. I love doing that. Or maybe reclining on an icy rock in Saturn's rings, chilling with a tour of Antarctica, or talking to alien entities or being of service to Lady Akate. But this night, something very different happened when I used that ident. It's hard to describe. No body, no me, really. Just a kind of knowing. And there I was, the causal plane. Imagine trying to describe this experience in English. To me, it's like trying to explain Wi Fi to a caveman while his campfire is still smoking. That's how I feel right now. I'm trying to translate the untranslatable. The causal plane isn't light or space in any way that you can recognize. It's patterns, pure and humming. Everything there is cause before effect, blueprint before building. I saw, no, understood the threads of events weaving themselves, tiny impulses, choices, forgotten thoughts, all laid out as if they were luminous roots branching into endless outcomes. Imagine seeing every domino that could possibly fall before anyone even tips the first one. That's the backdrop here. And then I noticed something else. I wasn't alone. The beings here don't look like robed sages or shimmering aliens. They feel more like radiant equations, pure intelligences, each expressing a principle. One of them approached me, not in space, but in awareness. I got the sense that it was amused. "You're not really supposed to be here yet, Rick." That was the greeting. No booming voice, no angelic choir, just a clean thought, delivered like a wink. "Yeah, well, I like sneaking into the VIP section," I replied mentally. I don't know if sarcasm translates well on the causal plane, but the bean rippled, and I swear it felt like a chuckle. They, because it was a multi-being, showed me not with pictures, but with knowing that the causal plane is where souls sort of seed their incarnations. Choices of lessons, themes, challenges, all drafted like cosmic lesson plans. From here, karma isn't punishment or reward. It's more like course corrections. You pick the syllabus, you live it, you adjust. Simple. I asked if this meant that free will was just an illusion. If all of us were just following some pre-written blueprint. The answer was both comforting and annoying. Free will exists, but you wield it inside the framework. You choose before you remembered choosing. I said, right, thanks for the paradox. Before I left, the being let me feel the causal plane itself. It was like dipping into the source code of reality. Patterns humming with elegance, no wasted movements, every line of existence written in a kind of divine efficiency. It was beautiful, terrifying, and humbling. And then, snap, I was back in my body, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The mundane world reasserted itself with almost cosmic force. But I can still feel it, the aftertaste of the causal plane, like a background hum behind all this ordinary noise. And I swear, every choice I've made today feels just a little more deliberate. Like I can still glimpse the blueprint faintly glowing behind it. If you liked or managed to understand what I just reported, please hit the like button and share it with those of like minds. Subscribe if you haven't already. And questions and comments. What do you think about this whole causal plane? Do you think you've ever been there? What questions, perhaps, what would you have tried to explore? I did my absolute best to try to describe it in English, but I thought the mental plane was difficult. This was a whole series of numbers higher in difficulty than describing the mental plane was. But I did my best. Perhaps one day you'll go there and maybe you can do a better job. At any rate, this is Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.